Okay, good. So, all right, the recording is started. So if you want to share this with anybody else, you'd be able to, or if there's any of your clients that would be interested in this, you'll be able to forward it to them as well. I'll probably put this in a Dropbox because when you record a video, obviously it takes up a lot of bandwidth. Okay. Hi, Monica. Thank you for joining. If you want to put yourself on mute, please do so. Thank you. All right. So expecting a few more, but I'm going to not make you guys wait. So let's start things. So I'm going to share my computer. Thank you for joining on this beautiful January morning to Telecom One's webinar, first of the year. There we go. Okay, so first off, a little background about Telecom One and who we are. We're headquartered right in Brookfield, Wisconsin. We started in 1989, so we have over 32 years of experience. We've been with the same ownership. We've been privately held. We are diversified and we are debt-free. Telecommunications provider right here in Southeast Wisconsin. Throughout the decades, many have come and gone. We continue to do very well because we offer some unique services that larger competitors or competitors that aren't as prepared as we've been have not been able to manage. And because we're privately held, we're not in fear of being taken over. We're a trusted provider to thousands of companies over those past 32 years. So, again, who is Telecom One? We're a nationwide provider of business network solutions. We offer next generation voice, data, and private networking services, including a 100% in the cloud hosted unified communication system, or UC, secure wide area network, whether it's MPLS or SD-WAN, and a multitude of voice solutions. So we deliver extremely reliable, flexible solutions at competitive rates. We'll get into how that's a differentiator of ours. We provide personal local attention to each and every opportunity, pre-sale, during the implementation, post-sale, and then ongoing annual reviews with all of our clients because technology is constantly changing. So we're not just one and done, in other words. Okay, so today's agenda. How new technologies can vastly improve business continuity, reduce costs, or better put those, what your current spend is, to better use. And most importantly, show how to improve communications. And communications can be voice or data. All right, so we're going to cover those both. Okay, so over the years, as technology changes, Telecom One continues to increase the services and products, offering all the best services to help your businesses save money, improve communications, and have a single source to meet your telecom and data needs. So you don't have to come to us for one piece and somebody else for another piece. We can do everything that your business needs for your entire network, not just one piece of it. How to increase values for dollars spent, and review ways to reduce current technology costs. How technology improvements can help your business during uncertain times like COVID-19 has caused and continues to cause. Or just, you know, even with just changes, you know, some people have improved business because of COVID-19, but a lot of times that needs adjustment of your current technology platform. And how having Telecom One as your trusted advisor will provide improved communications, enhanced reliability for your business. So again, please look at us as a trusted advisor more than just a vendor or somebody trying to sell a specific product, right? We want to be part of your team. All right. I do have to move this. Sorry about that. Okay. So our specialties. We offer a complete communication portfolio, as mentioned, and our goal is to become a trusted advisor, okay? So we have advanced toll-free applications, especially important for inbound call centers. So if you have any clients that have really critical toll-free applications, we are probably the best provider in the entire Midwest. Business continuity and multi-network access for both diversity on both your voice and your data. So it used to be that voice was much more critical. You didn't want your phone system to go down. Well, that is still critical, but even more so impactful is your internet access and your wide area network connectivity. So we'll explain why we are different, and we can help businesses stay more reliable with their network. Ongoing technology change management is something else we offer. Okay, we'll explain that when you pick one solution with Telecom One, if a year or two from now things change, we have the ability to edit and make changes to your current environment without having penalties to something you might have signed up for originally. 100% cloud-based unified communication system. Very few companies worldwide have 100% in the cloud communication system. Most offer hybrid, and that is something very important. People don't even realize that that is a problem, and why a cloud-based system is better than a hybrid system. So our takeaways: technology changes and why business continuity is important to your business, how new technologies can help your business, and how a partnership with Telecom One is going to be your best solution for those technology needs and changes and your business reliability. Okay, so there's some changes in the telecom industry that I'm just going to touch on real quickly. It's important for you guys to know. And then we're going to get right into the business continuity for both the voice and the data side. We're going to talk about the voice first and then the data second. So voice, you have options for phone systems. You have a cloud-based unified communication system. You have a voice, which could also be called a VoIP, voice over IP hosted phone system. If you have a traditional phone system, maybe you're a large call center and you still have that traditional need, you need a very good way to get voice circuits to that phone system, whether it's an old copper PRI, SIP lines, SIP trunks, which is just another way to bring voice into your phone system, or standard POTS lines. So we're going to go over all of that. Advanced toll-free applications, again, for inbound call centers, we pride ourselves on that. This is a good opportunity for you to go after larger clients that have call center needs, and their 800 number needs to stay up, right? Because that could mean thousands of dollars of revenue lost if their toll-free number goes down. And then we need to talk about the sunset options of copper, okay, whether it's POTS lines, which is just normal analog lines, or a digital voice line like a PRI. And we're going to talk about options to replace those, okay? We're going to talk about data internet options. We're going to talk about wide area network connectivity options in case somebody has more than one location, so they have 2 or 3 locations. And then we're also going to talk about data continuity, similar to voice continuity, so that the internet access is secured and won't go down, which could cost thousands of dollars of lost revenue. Okay, so first, business continuity. Again, a cloud-based phone system and more reliable voice paths and diversifying your internet will make your business less vulnerable to outages and weather interruptions. All right, that's what we're talking about with in this webinar, what business continuity means. I'll talk briefly about business continuity of your IT infrastructure and backup as well. But on the voice side, you have a hosted phone system that's in the cloud. You have SIP trunks that are reliable, toll-free applications that are reliable, and we have to talk about moving away from copper lines. And the data, we've got internet, we've got 4G wireless, we've got redundancy, and we've got wide area network connectivity. Okay, so voice continuity first. So this would be somebody who has a traditional phone system that's either, that is most likely a voice over IP phone system, but they actually have hardware in their office. So how do they get voice dial tone into that phone system? Well, one of the most common ways to do that now is called SIP, okay? That's just an analog, not an analog line, but will mimic an analog line or PRI. But not all SIP providers are the same. You can go on the internet and order SIP lines from multiple different providers, but you don't know what you're getting. With us, what you're getting is that you utilize the world's largest single provider for SIP trunks, okay? So because it's the largest, it makes sense to own as much as you can so that there aren't additional hops. Many providers will buy from multiple different providers to keep the cost down. Well, what happens is if your call center is in California and your provider you bought from is in the Midwest, there's a chance that there could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hops, and there could be a problem with any one of those carriers that the company is utilizing. So we try not to do that. We own as much as we can. We also build in redundancy. So if that call is being routed through Chicago and there's congestion, it'll immediately go through Minneapolis and then out to the call center or your toll-free number, or just in, if you're calling out, same thing. All right, so your call consistency is as best as it can be. Matter of fact, you can see it's a 5.9 reliability, a core uptime. And we have clients that have been with us for over 20 years, and they have admitted that they have never had an outage with us using our SIP trunks, okay? The second thing is that a lot of IP providers who started earlier in the business didn't build for the future because the technology wasn't there yet. And they were using old digital technology versus an IP technology. Our system is completely IP based, so it's built for the future, and it's the most secure and redundant service that you can get. On the toll-free side, one of the things that we have built in is AI. So we have automatic review of every one of our clients. And if there's an outage or a problem, our software immediately starts repairing it, enters a trouble ticket, and involves the correct people to be involved. Most of our clients never have to call into our call center to report a problem. All right. Okay. So moving on. So the next is the sunset of copper. Okay. So replacement strategies for copper phone lines, whether they are POTS lines, which is just plain old telephone service, an analog line coming in, or a PRI, which comes on a copper line and is a digital voice circuit into a large PBX, premise-based phone system. So somebody who might have 20 or more employees probably has a PRI if they have an older phone system. Okay, but in 2017, when the FCC came up with the Telecom Act and allowed competitors to sell copper lines, they allowed a sunset of those copper lines. So here we are, where we were at 21 years later, so hopefully my math is right. AT&T, Verizon, Lumen, other companies are saying, okay, we don't have to, we're gonna do what the FCC allowed us to do, and we're no longer going to sell our copper lines at competitive prices or allow competitors to sell our copper lines. And so copper lines went from an average of $25 to $30 a line to $70 to $200 per line, for a single POTS line. Next, that's this year, and that's been happening already. Next year, you're gonna start seeing the same thing happen on PRIs. So everything's moving to fiber or digital. POTS lines are important because companies use them for fire and burglar alarms, faxes, elevators, and even point of sale, like credit card machines. So there are a few ways to deal with the sunset of copper. One is a thing called POTS on Demand, which is a cellular option. You can see here it's a box that will give access to 2 cellular providers at the same time, so that gives you really nice redundancy. This is a pretty cool thing to move away from POTS lines anyway, because the odds of your cellular networks going down are a lot less than your copper network going down. So this has a few supply chain issues right now. These boxes are in high demand and they're hard to come by, but more and more we're able to start getting them. The price of this is very compatible to what somebody would be paying for these new POTS lines. So these are good for elevator alarms, elevators, alarms, and other analog devices. Okay. We can still get some. Telecom One has a ability to partner with a few carriers that are still reselling copper lines, and they're a little less expensive than going to AT&T. But again, it's closer to $65 instead of $35. For the faxes, eFax solution is available for only $16, so this actually will save clients money, and it runs through our hosted platform that I'll explain later. And then for the PRIs, for those companies that have to continue to run with a traditional phone system for whatever reason, I could do a PRI over a fiber circuit. I can provide the fiber circuit plus the voice lines. So this is not SIP, this is old school PRI. I provide all the devices that are needed. So again, Telecom One is a complete resource. Okay, so let's move on to another way for business continuity to work, and that is a hosted phone system. All right, for voice, this is probably the top dog, top tier, best way to continue your communications on your voice platform. Put the phone system in the cloud instead of at your premise, and then as long as people have access to your phone number, the phone number will be answered. If you've got a power outage and your receptionist can't answer it, the auto attendant will. All right, so our office suite system is very unique and might seem similar to what you've heard out there, but I'm going to try and touch on some differentiators because a lot of these systems appear to act the same and do the same. A lot of them can have the same features, but how easy can you use those features? How accessible are ads, moves, and changes? You know, if there's a new employee or somebody moves offices, what's involved there? What does that cost your business? And you might just throw your hands up and not even use those really cool features that you wanted to use. So Office Suite is a unique and advanced technology platform that unifies all your business calls, your faxes, all your messaging and meetings in the cloud instead of on-premise with unparalleled security. Okay, that's another differentiator. Our customers can transform their organization, and that's what we're talking about, right? We don't want to just sell something to sell them something. We want to improve their business. So our systems can improve employee productivity, have better cost efficiencies through easy-to-use communication services that will unify multiple different sites, enable employees to collaborate and work from virtually any device anywhere in the world. So this allows maximum flexibility in an unknown world. So let's talk about business continuity and the Office Suite key differentiators. Number one, very few systems in the world are 100% cloud solution. Most solutions require your hardware, your phone system, your physical phone, to use features like speed dial, customer contacts, and some other very important features. That user data is on our system is stored in the cloud, not on the physical hardware. We have a smartphone app for portal access. So not only do we have an app on your phone so that you be connected to your phone system, but you can actually connect to your portal, especially important if you're the admin and it's a snow day and you need to close the office and you want to change the auto attendant. Okay, so that's very nice. Security. All right, it's encrypted. We wrote the code. This is our own private code. This isn't something that somebody else is sharing, okay? And because of that, it's more secure than other systems. It's also HIPAA and PCI compliant, as I mentioned earlier. The next really big feature is, okay, all these features are great. It's great to have my voicemail go to my email. It's great to be able to have my cell phone connected to my extension. It's great to, if I'm on call, it's great to receive that on-call call. But how easy is it to manage? Do you have to call your vendor? Do you have to pay your vendor? Do you have to struggle with accessing those features? Okay, the answer with us is no. All that stuff is extremely easy. All right, and every single feature is offered at every single location. So let's say you're working in this office today, and tomorrow you want to work at another office, or you want to work in the conference room. You just log into whatever phone is there, and all of a sudden that phone looks like your phone. Okay, and you have all your features. They follow you. Okay, that is not the same, and not even available with our competitors. Okay, software deployment. Updates are pushed out automatically. You don't have to worry. You don't have to download anything new. You don't have to reboot. You don't have to pay anything. And then again, our portal is so easy to use that it actually has won awards. Okay, if you forget how to do something, there are YouTube videos for every feature that we provide. Really cool. All right. So how is it unique? Again, 100% cloud-based, easy to use portal, always the latest releases, more secure. Mobility is offers some features that others don't. Okay, not every feature, not every system has HD meeting. This is HD meeting. Okay, this is part of our phone system. Very few of our competitors, that will, even the largest competitors out there, don't have call center options. I can't believe that. So let's say you have a client that has a need for 3 or 4 call center people. If they have some of these other competitors, they're out of luck. They have to spend a ton of money to find a third-party system that can activate call center features like call logs, ability to have a supervisor listen in on a call or to merge a call, things like that. Doesn't even exist in some of our competitors. The nice thing with us is that it's just an add-on. If you want those features, you just pay like $30 a month per user for a call center person. Very reasonable, very easy. You just turn it up. Okay. Many systems don't have this video ability, and many systems don't have SMS texting. What I mean by SMS texting is not within the system. I'm talking about if somebody thinks, when they call, you call out and they want to text you back on your landline, how do you receive that text? Okay, most people don't receive that text. With us, you would never lose that text. Okay, next thing, how we're unique is choice of phones. We're the only hosted provider in the world that can reuse Mitel phones, or we could sell new Mitel phones. Absolutely the best, most advanced phone on the market, bar none. We can also use Telecom, which is more generic. We cannot use Yealink, but Yealink and Telecom are very similar. They're very generic phone. Those were designed to push out to people selling hosted phone systems, okay? They do not have this easy to use buttons, user interfaces, or features. A Mitel phone is the only phone in the world that you can have a cordless handset to. It works with Bluetooth technology. You can walk around. It's great for receptionists. It's great for hosts at restaurants, things like that, okay? Outside of Mitel, we're the only company using Mitel phones. The other advantage there is if you have a customer using a Mitel system, you can replace their back office with us, give them the better to use system than what they currently have with Mitel. Mitel has struggled for years to provide a really good hosted phone system. As of last month, they threw their hands up and said, no more, we can't compete. And so they merged with Ring Central, and Ring Central is not the best to move to. So this is a good opportunity to go after Mitel customers and say, hey, you can continue using Mitel phones. You don't have to buy new ones, but we can become your service provider and give you better options at less costs. And that's my next point. The last 2 years since I've been looking at this, I haven't seen another provider come in at a lower cost than us. Okay? And again, easy to use features. It's great to have features. If you don't know how to use them or can't access them, what good is it? Okay, so Office Suite summary. Quality and security advantages. So we are a nationwide diverse data centers. So that is really relevant to uptime, right? We're not, there's a lot of companies out there that have designed their own hosted phone system and they're in 1 or 2 data centers. And if you buy from them and they stop supporting you, what are you gonna do? So we're a nationwide provider, okay? 100% in the cloud, we own the code, and we have the Mitel phones. Cost advantage, we have 2 seat options to allow a custom design to meet all needs. And we're customer designed. We don't just push out something. We talk to the customer, we say, hey, what do you need for this phone and this phone for this employee, that employee? Do you need just a soft phone? Do you need a more advanced phone with that cordless handset? Do you need just a standard phone? Do you need a convenience phone for your kitchen or something like that, right? And then add that on top the Telecom One advantages. So Telecom One is unique in that before we sell a hosted phone system to a client, we will give them a free network assessment, okay? That runs for a week on their network, on their PC, and it will show if there's any concerns before putting in that hosted phone system. I'm sure you've all had experiences where customers say, oh, I moved from the traditional phone system to hosted and the voice quality is horrible, things like that. Well, it's because maybe their network wasn't ready for a hosted phone system. So we make sure that their network is ready, all right? So there's no surprises. The second thing is that most hosted phone systems have a call center for support on training and problems. Locally based, Wisconsin based, we do hands-on, we can deliver the phones, we can install the phones, we can do hands-on training, whatever the customer would like, okay? We treat it more like the old school traditional phone system setup versus just, okay, you're gonna receive the equipment in a box, you plug it in, good luck. And if you have a problem, call 1-800-INDIA, okay? So our call center is 100% US based and our office is in Brookfield. Okay, so that's on the voice side. Let's talk about internet real quickly now. So we're switching to internet. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Okay, so internet continuity options. I'm gonna talk about SD-WAN, what that is and what the options are. Software defined wide area network is what SD-WAN stands for. We're gonna talk about backup versus active, okay? So some SD-WAN companies will give you a backup to internet. That's nice, but backup isn't as good as 100% active, where both internet options are working simultaneously, and if one goes down, the other is still running. We'll talk more about that in a minute. WAN connectivity, wide area network continuity is important as well, especially if a client is still using a server, an on-prem service. So let's say they had 3 locations and their headquarters has their server in-house, and their other 2 locations need to access that server all the time. So it's important to have reliability on your wide area network, not just your internet. Then we're going to talk about business continuity for the data circuits on a standalone location. Okay, this is important as well. A lot of companies in Wisconsin only have 1 location. We're also going to talk about employee usage of internet and how to best manage that so that somebody's not streaming Netflix and taking down your network because there's congestion, there's too much bandwidth being used, etc. Okay, so we have different ways to bring in internet. The 2 most common are fiber these days and cable. Okay, both have their advantages. So we're going to talk about those. Okay, a fiber solution is kind of the Mac Daddy of the best internet access that you can get. You have a really good service level agreement that states that if the fiber goes down, you're going to actually be due some financial credits. Fiber is built throughout the country, so it has a lot of redundancy. But the thing with fiber is the buildings have to be lit. Now, it's good that we have access to a lot of fiber lit buildings, but even at 217,000, there's a lot of buildings missing, right? So not every building can get fiber. So there's other ways you can get internet access. One is cable, the other is over the cellular network, okay? And you can always have a backup system, right? There are products today, even at some SD-WAN products or boxes, that will allow 2 or more internet connections to come into your business, and it will only allow you to use one internet access at a time. And if that one internet access goes down, the second one will kick in, and that is internet backup. Okay, auto failover, and then auto fail back. So once that primary connection comes back up, it sends you back. So let's talk about somebody that is remote and they can't get fiber and cable, but they can get fiber and cellular. All right, the cellular is pretty good, pretty fast actually, but expensive. So you don't want to be on the cellular network very long. So what you could do is when that fiber circuit comes back up, or even that cable circuit comes back up, it'll auto fail over back. Okay. But what is SD-WAN and how is that different than backup? All right, so what is SD-WAN? Why do you need it? And why is Telecom One solution better than most? All right. So SD-WAN for single site versus traditional WAN. Okay, so a lot of people are like, well, why do I need a WAN, software-defined wide area network for a single site? Well, we'll talk about that. But if you are a multi-location customer, you can make each branch more agile and efficient by using an SD-WAN product, okay? So we're going to compare a traditional WAN deployment, which is like a point-to-point, or MPLS, which is a way to connect securely with 2 internet circuits between 2 locations. And how is that different than the new, well, newish, came out 5 years ago, SD-WAN? All right. And it'll talk about how it's faster and more reliable and more cost effective. That's what SD-WAN can offer you. All right. So let's talk about how ours is different and how we are a more trusted advisor than some of our competitors. Telecom One is better at software-defined or SD-WAN. Why is that? Why? Because we're using multiple WAN connections for all traffic. Okay, unlike our competitors that might use a failover, we got one circuit here, and if this circuit goes down, this circuit kicks up. For internet access at a single location or for wide area network connectivity, that is not so good, right? And it's a waste of money, for Pete's sake. You know, if you're, so in other words, let's say your client says that I need 100 meg of internet access at all times, up and down. And then they say, between sites, I also need 100 meg of internet access. All right, well, what does that mean? If you go with our competitors, you're going to have a system that gives you a backup. So you buy 100 meg circuit here, the other 100 meg circuit here. That's super expensive, right? You probably need 2 fiber circuits at each location. Okay, we say no. How about you get a 50 meg circuit fiber, which is less money than 100 meg, and then you get a 100 by 10 cable connection, okay, or wireless or line of sight or something else, okay, and you combine those circuits. Now you have technically 200 meg down, and if you did, well, the new cable connection is 200 by 20, you would have 50 and 20, so that's 70 up, okay? So you talk to your client about that, right? And now you have 2 circuits working simultaneously, blending the bandwidths, okay? And if one goes down, the other is still up. So we've done tests at the office where we're on a phone call and we unplug the fiber and the phone call still continues. Plug the fiber back in, we unplug the cable, and the phone call still continues, okay? Standard Cisco, Netgear, SD-WAN doesn't do that, okay? Believe it or not. It's only backup. So you're spending way too much money on 2 circuits, and you don't have true business continuity, right? A bank that I was talking to was considering looking at that backup solution for the video cameras. I said, you know, if you're being robbed and the bank robber walks in and your primary circuit goes down, it's going to take up to 15 seconds for the secondary circuit to turn up. You can miss the perpetrator's face, okay? All right, so again, in the event one circuit goes down, the other circuit keeps all traffic up, whether it's voice or internet, and does not drop the phone calls or data connections. Okay, next thing is we're able to use a really nice, when you get our SD-WAN, you get a really nice user portal. You don't have to spend money on an IT company to manage this for you. And you can prioritize business critical applications like Facebook or Netflix or anything like that, allowing the end user to fine tune the bandwidth, best utilization for the bandwidth without having to spend money with an IT person. Okay, replacing MPLS with SD-WAN. A lot of companies have MPLS. MPLS, if you didn't know, is a bandwidth hog. If you've got a 50 meg internet circuit and you want 20 meg of internet to go across your wide area network, it's going to reduce that 50 meg of internet down to 30 because it needs the 20 to be separate for that wide area network connectivity. SD-WAN has gotten rid of that. It's going to use full bandwidth access for both internet and wide area network connectivity. And here's a picture of it. So you can see that you have the devices at each location, and then you have the internet and MPLS. And again, it's going to one provider, going to the other provider, and it's doing both internet and MPLS together, utilizing the entire bandwidth of both circuits. So in this case, you have fixed wireless and fiber working together in tandem, using both circuits simultaneously, utilizing all the bandwidth simultaneously. And you can go out to the internet or wide area network at the same bandwidth, right? It's pretty cool and unique. All right, so just real quickly, a summary. So how we do it is we partnered with the largest SD-WAN provider in the world called VeloCloud. They are the best, they're the most reliable, they're the largest, but we are in complete control of those services. We utilize their network, but we support our clients. So you get better support with us as well. We manage the entire network, whether it's internet access or the wide area network connectivity, and we will allow people to bring their own bandwidth. It's fine. If they have a long-term contract, they got an existing fiber network, not a problem. Later, when that contract comes up, yeah, you can talk to them about replacing them with the Telecom One internet circuit. So let's put everything together. Let's put together with a real case study, a real world case study, somebody who's using all of these benefits and features, and let's see what the outcome has been. So the case study is a medium-sized moving company based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They had 3 locations, and they happened to be using 3 different providers. They had 12 bills, and they didn't know how to read all those bills. They had no support on either their phone system, which was an older traditional phone system that that company that was making the phone system is no longer around. And they were making ongoing mistakes and spending money. When I met with them, they had just signed a new 3-year contract with AT&T for services that they didn't even need. They had a standard phone system with no support, as I mentioned, and they were paying over $7,000 per month for their internet, voice, and phone services. If they were to leave, they would have had over $12,000 in early term charges to leave their current providers. So what we did was we looked at the whole picture. We looked at all 12 bills, we looked at their phone system, we looked at their internet access, and we looked at how their wide area network was connecting between the 3 offices. We were able to improve all those services and give them massive advantages. and saved them over $167,000 over a course of 5 years. Hence, they are a really good referenceable account. They love us. Okay, so let me just clarify how things work. Telecom One offers free network assessments with cost-saving solutions. Okay, so we can meet with any client anytime and not charge for our services. If they don't want to go with our suggestions, that's fine. Okay, but we will spend the time, effort, and energy. This client in particular, we worked with them closely for 6 months before they made a decision to move forward. Okay, they had 3 providers, 12 bills. We brought them to 1 bill. Okay, originally they had confused products and contracts with an early term charge. They had, we discovered that they had 2 locations. One location, the building was torn down 5 years ago. Another location, they sold the building. So they were paying for services that they weren't even using or in control of for more than 5 years because they didn't understand how to read their bills. They had multiple contracts, and they're confusing, and we constantly were getting different prices and dates and when those contracts would expire. It's crazy. They had 1 internet connection at every location, and the internet was very slow. So we put in 2 internet connections and quadrupled their speed. They had standard internet access. They didn't have this SD-WAN product. They didn't have redundancy. So if they lost power, they lost their provider, they had no internet at that location. They had no management of their wide area network. Their IT guy had to control a VPN, and he was inundated with too much work. And so it wasn't a very good wide area network. They had a standard phone system with no support. They were paying over $7,000 a month, and they had early terms charges. So what we did was we put in the SD-WAN product. So we gave them that redundant business continuity solution for each location to have ongoing internet access, and then the wide area network connectivity between the locations. We gave them that software to manage the end users. We gave them a brand new hosted phone system, the Office Suite, which they loved. They decided they had 70 phones. They decided to get 30 phones from us and 40 soft phones that they put on their laptops for the remote workers. We reduced their cost to $4,683. You can see, we gave them all this stuff. We saved them $23,000 the first year and $35,000 after that because they had to pay the $12,000 early term charge. We negotiated with AT&T, and that early term charge was broken up to 6 payments. So they didn't have to shell out the $12,000 right away. So those are everything that Telecom One brought to the table and helped them do at no charge. So this is what the vice president said. So the company is called C.H. Coakley. You might have heard of them. And out of the blue a few months ago, I get this email. Didn't ask for it. He just sent it to me. He says, at the beginning of the project, we would ask each other, what is the catch? I'm glad to see that there wasn't one. Kudos to you and the team. It was a bit of a long road and quite a bit of back and forth, not only between us, but also our current vendor before we got started. Once the ball was rolling, though, everything went about as quickly and seamlessly as we could have hoped for, considering all the moving pieces to this project. I will keep my ears open on anyone else that could use you, and I will definitely recommend you. C.H. Coakley, Mike K., Assistant Vice President. We did what we said we would do and delivered. So, as a trusted advisor, Telecom One provides a complete solution for your business part, and our business partners, and we can meet all of your technology needs. So including IT services. So we have access to multiple different business partners that can help you with your IT business continuity needs, storage of important data. Even if you're using Microsoft 365 or Google Apps for Business, you still need a backup. So we have access to that, okay? So we have access to over 270 providers nationwide. So we have our own core set of products that we went over in this presentation, but then we also have access to other trusted providers that we've worked with over the years, and we can introduce you to those parties at any time. And as a business partner, you would get paid on those services that your clients would purchase as well. So Telecom One services include custom design solutions, professional support prior, during, and after the sale, more than 32 years of experience, and we are a complete provider, right? We don't just do phone systems. We don't just do internet, okay? We do voice, data, services, and products. We take a team approach. We navigate confusing products, bills, and contracts, and design the best and correct solutions. And then delivering at the best prices while helping implement the new services. So we don't just say, oh, here you go, good luck. So we are a trusted advisor. This is our goal. This is our promise. And we back everything up with a satisfaction guarantee. Our paperwork is simple and concise. We have peace of mind because we continue to review our accounts annually, and we can negotiate new agreements even within contracts. We are a full service provider, internet, SIP, SD-WAN, 4G, hosted phones, all designed, installed, and supported locally and built under one bill. I can't tell you how many times somebody will sell somebody a hosted phone system and know nothing about the internet, and things go awry. An internet provider will try and sell internet access that doesn't meet their needs for their cloud services. It's really, really important that if you don't buy from a provider that gives you all those services, that you work with a consultant or somebody who understands the whole environment of your business, right? You need to understand how cloud services and data centers and wide area network connectivity apply, right? I was working with a dentist office, and they couldn't understand why they couldn't get their x-rays to go from one office to the other. And I said, well, who set you up? He goes, our IT company. I called the IT company. I said, what are you using for internet at their first location? They go, we don't know. That's not our job. Like, you got to be kidding. I said, they have an old school cable connection at 2 meg of internet. There's no way that an x-ray can go from 2 meg over to a 100 meg fiber circuit at the other location. Like, well, we don't care. I can't believe that, right? So this is unique, right? We are 100% US based. We have an experienced team that will take the time to review the current environment completely, provide better solutions, and help navigate those solutions better. And we will best utilize dollars spent. And many times, most of the time, we will reduce money. We'll reduce the current spend when we look at the whole picture. So again, we're a trusted provider for all types and sizes of organizations, whether they have 5 phones or 500 phones, 5,000 phones, okay? We can provide them with a myriad of products that best suit their needs no matter where they are in the country, even the world. We have access to international providers. So whether it's cable needed, voice over IP needed, POTS lines, whether you're a single location or multi-location, all supported by professionals and experienced local team to help navigate the best options. So what's next? Set up a meeting via phone or in person to determine how we can best partner. Run a network assessment tool for free, as we advertised in this meeting. Everybody who attended this meeting can get the network assessment tool, whether they work with us or not. That's our gift to you for taking the time to spend with us. We will also do a free review with no obligation. I always suggest take an hour to demo the hosted phone system that we have, Office Suite. And then also let us know how critical your internet access is and how it would affect your business if your internet went down. And then we can talk about those solutions, whether it's just backup or whether it's SD-WAN. All right, so that's the end of my presentation. Thank you. We look forward to working closely with you for all your technology needs. So I can stop sharing. And if anybody has any questions, let me know. Somebody sent me a chat. Jeff, yes, I can get a copy of this presentation to you. Does anybody have any questions? If not, thank you so much for taking an hour of your time on this beautiful January morning, and look forward to working with all of you closely. Send me emails on specific questions you might have if you need me to talk with any of your clients, or if you want a copy of this, I will get it over to you.
Thanks, Andrew. Great job.